Hello, Keith James here. I made this video to go on the main Harry Potter page of my website, thegeekcanpaint.com. That's not to say that you can't watch it if you got here another way. I certainly hope that J.K. Rowling finds her way to this video somehow. I would very much like her to see it. Well, what this video is I'm going to talk a little bit about the project I'm doing of illustrating the entire Harry Potter series. What it is, why I'm doing it, but mostly to show off what I do with the completed works. It was just easier to make this video than to write it all out and hope that people will want to read it and understand it, and mostly it's just easier to show off and explain as I go. That said, you should know this video is probably not going to be as nice as the videos most of the younger generation can whip together with their phones. I am not a vlogger. I've never made a video before, if it's not obvious. And so I just ask that you please be forgiving and patient with me, though I am going to try to make this as quick as I can to not bore you, but still show off the finished product. So here we go. When I started, it was originally just the project of one cover illustration and one illustration for each chapter of each of the books. And just to give you a quick idea, here's the cover of book 1. It's done on a different kind of board than I normally work on. It's actually a colored board. Each cover got a different color scheme. Thought that would be kind of fun. Book 1 got red, book 2 got green, book 3 is brown. I'll figure out more as I go on. And then here is chapter 1 illustration of book 1. It's inside a protective sleeve, so it's kind of shiny. Here is chapter 2. Now, I'm not showing these things to show off the artwork. I'm just giving an idea of the scale I work before it gets turned into the final product. If you want to see these illustrations better, just go to my website, thegeekcanpaint.com, and take a look. You'll get a much better view of the illustrations there. That said, once I finished, as I was going, this was well before I finished the first book, but as I was going, I realized I wasn't showing everything I wanted to show. I got to about chapter 5 or 6, and I was looking back and going, there's too many scenes that I wanted to do more on, but I didn't want to do a whole other painting. It didn't make sense to me. And so what I started doing was these vignette drawings, and just kind of showing little snippets and stuff like that, just all those little bits and pieces that I didn't get to show before. Now these are actually the vignettes for book 3 that I'm working on right now. The only reason I'm showing those and not the other ones is when I first started, the sizes kind of varied a little bit. They were all about this size, but I finally kind of worked to keeping them all a uniform size, and it was just easier to show. And again, if you want to see the illustrations, just go to the website. So that way I went back and filled in what I didn't do, and then finished the book out doing one painting for each chapter, along with a handful of drawings, somewhere between 4 and 5 at the very least, to 10 to 12 at the most. But it still wasn't enough. There was one chapter that got kind of gypped, and I didn't know how to handle it because it was Diagon Alley. I chose the scene where Harry Potter got his wand, which is a very important scene, I thought, and easier to kind of show in that moment of illustration, but I felt like Diagon Alley itself got gypped. So I decided to do a double-sized illustration. It's twice the size of the other paintings, basically. I think it might even be a little bit bigger. But again, if you want to see a better version of it, look on my website. And when I did that, I didn't know what that meant for the rest of the series as I was going to continue, because the books got bigger and bigger. I felt like they could use more of those for fun, and so that was actually what I decided to do. Book 1 got 1 double size, book 2 gets 2, book 3 gets 3, book 4 gets 4, and so on. So I finished book 1, and it still wasn't enough. I wanted to see it bound. I wanted to see what it looked like. I wanted to be able to hold it like it was a book. It wasn't my original plan when I first started. It was just to do the illustrations, and I just needed to have them done. And then once it was done, I just needed to see them as a book. They're not for sale. I never planned to sell them. I just wanted to see it. And then I also did a couple other things with it, which I will get to in a second. But here's what I wanted to show off, the finished versions. So I made a slipcase. It's got kind of a leather quality. There's the spine. All the spines of the books will always have the defense against the dark arts teacher from each book on them. Book 3 will have Lupin. Book 4 will have Moody, and so on and so forth. But here's book 1 for right now. Slide it out. There's the actual cover. There's the back. I'm going to take off the dust jacket. Everything I made myself or printed on my home computer except this. It was too big for me to do. I had it done on a very nice watercolor paper at a professional printer. The fun little detail. We have Trevor, the toad, trying to escape. He's pulling it's just a cut, but it's made to look like the page is folding. And I'm going to do something silly up in that corner for all the books as I go. Not quite sure what it is for each one, but anyway. Then we have the actual book. It's just got a cloth cover. When you open it up, I designed a thing using my Hogwarts crest. Kind of give it a little whatever. And I decided to put in a little bonus illustration here. Much like the cover of the slipcase, this is one of the vignette drawings that I just made a painted version of. Just kind of the centerpiece for the book. But then inside I took another one. This is Dumbledore's first appearance. I even put a little quote there. A man appeared on the corner. That's the words that describes Dumbledore's first appearance. But it's just a little bonus painting, that I did. Then we go inside. Harry Potter. I'm using my illustrations. It's a drawing. We go inside. It's made to look just like the table of contents. Tried to make it look and feel as much like the original book as possible. But then I put in my own illustration. I don't have something on every page, but I just try to get something, whatever. And then, of course, like here's the Dumbledore drawing version. And then, of course, the painting. It's all chapter 1 there. Then, here's painting for chapter 3. Got a little extra bonus up there. Sorry. Then we have the fold-out illustration for book 1. Again, book 1 only got 1. And then, yeah, it just goes on from there. We have illustrations, paintings, whatever. One thing to note is I wanted to respect copyright. So when you see this, it looks like a bunch of type, but if you really get into it, it's gibberish. It's actually called lorem ipsum text. It's something that ad houses at least used to use. I don't know if they use it anymore. But it's just something when they were creating an ad and they knew that they were going to have type in some spot and they just wanted some filler to make it look like type, but wasn't anything. It's just gibberish. So that's what this is all filled with the exception of things like the titles, just to give a sense of feeling. That's book 1. Moving on to book 2. We have a little drawing of Dobby down there, painting of Dobby. Nothing on that. But there's the spine. That's how it would show on the bookshelf. Slip it out. There's the cover. The first one just got a little ribbon for its chapter markers, but this one got a string with a spider on it. I thought that would be kind of cute. Then off. There's the cover. This one's corner got the Cornish pixies ripping their way through the page. It's a little dangerous. This is a very delicate little piece, but it's protected on the inside because it's folded in. So then we have the book itself. This one, for the inside, I didn't design something. I got this snakeskin paper. I wouldn't use it again if I redid the books. It's a little rubbery, so it kind of sticks. But I love the pattern, so I would probably still keep the pattern. This one's bonus illustration on the inside is not one of the vignette drawings. This one I did a special just for this book. It's a photo of Gilderoy Lockhart. He signed it, still my biggest fan, and then his name at the bottom. And down here I put on the little envelope thing, free signed photo of Gilderoy Lockhart, suitable for framing. But really, what photo of Gilderoy isn't? I mean, let's be honest. And then it's just like the other one. We open it up, table of contents to look just like it. I used my illustrations. It's just Lorem Ipsum text, made to look. But then we have my illustrations. And then for book 2, the first double size, is Dumbledore's office. That was a big painting. Complicated painting. And then the second painting is one of my slight disappointments of this book. This one, I did a tall painting of the basilisk fight. I'm very happy with the way the painting itself turned out, but I originally wanted it to fold up, but I just couldn't make that work logistically and nicely. So maybe if I remake the books and kind of perfect things, I will do that, but for right now, this will have to do. So when I first made the first book, I sent a copy off. I made 4 of them. I made one for myself, one for J.K. Rowling, and one for the American and British publishers of the books. As far as the publishers go, I made an offer to have the books published. I asked a proposal to have the books published. They politely declined and sent the books back to me, so that was very nice. I also sent a copy to J.K. Rowling. This was just when I finished the first book. It never really got to her, as far as I know. It got to her people, and they sent it back to me with a very lovely letter saying that she doesn't accept gifts anymore. I was a teensy bit disappointed with that because it was more than just a tin of cookies and a thank you note. This has been a bit of a labor of love, and I would really love for her to know what she did for me, for my imagination. The series just is phenomenal, and I wanted her to know that. But I understood the not getting it back. That said, I am going to get her the copy to her somehow, someday. I just don't know when. And as long as I keep making this series, I'm going to keep making these books. And I will make a physical copy for myself and a physical copy for her. That said, I won't make any more copies for the publishers. They've started making their own. There's an illustrated series being released now as of the day that I'm making this video. The second book's been out for just a little while, and I'm not sure when the third book will come out, but it will come out eventually. Point is, they're not going to want my books, and I, again, understand. I'm just grateful that they're doing it, although jealousy makes me wish mine were the ones being made, but what can you do? That said, I really do plan to make a copy and get a copy to J.K. Rowling, and that's what I want to say right now, is to nobody else, just to J.K., if you see this message, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for this amazing story. It touched me very deeply, obviously, to want to do all this. People talk about how great it is that this series gets their kids to read, and I'm here to tell you it works on adults too. And again, it's not, when I give her these copies, I don't expect anything out of it. It's purely a thank you. Clearly I'm an artist, so I went to art school, and when I got out of it, I just I took a job just to pay the bills, and eventually just kind of found my way into that. I'm still at the same place right now. It's been 18 years, and I kind of lost my way for a bit. But then when I read the books, boom, I couldn't stop myself from doing these illustrations. And I've even started writing my own story, which I am trying to get published now. And that is all because of what J.K. Rowling did with this story. So thank you. Thank you very much, J.K. Rowling. Thank you for watching this video if you're watching it. Feel free to contact me. There's contact info on my website. This is for anybody, not just J.K. Rowling. You can see all the illustrations and more on my website. You can see anything about the book that I'm writing. Just thank you, and have an excellent day. Bye.